If you're over 60 and you've noticed your arms feeling weaker, your legs a little less steady, or your body just not bouncing back the way it used to, this video is going to change the way you think about aging forever. Here's a statistic that should stop you in your tracks. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that after 60, the average person loses up to 5% of their muscle mass every single decade. And after 70, that rate doubles. That means by the time most seniors realize something is wrong, they've already lost the strength it takes to climb stairs confidently, carry groceries, or get up from the floor without help. And the truly alarming part, most of them were told this was simply normal, that this was just what aging looks like, that there was nothing meaningful they could do about it. That is one of the most damaging lies in modern medicine. Here's what almost nobody is telling you. Muscle loss is not a death sentence. It is not permanent. And it is absolutely not just part of getting old. A growing body of science now confirms what top sports physicians and geriatric specialists have known for years. Seniors can rebuild real functional muscle strength at any age. Not just slow the decline, not just manage the damage, rebuild it, restore it. And in many cases feel physically stronger at 70 than they did at 65. 99% of seniors are following outdated advice that is quietly making this problem worse. Eating too little protein, sitting too long, skipping the one supplement that costs almost nothing and changes everything. And the one habit ranked number 2 on this list, something you can start today, right at home, with no equipment, has been shown in a peer-reviewed study to increase muscle protein synthesis by 38% in adults over 65 in just 10 weeks. We'll tell you exactly what it is, how it works, and why your doctor probably hasn't mentioned it yet. In this video, we're counting down the 7 most powerful things seniors can do right now to rebuild muscle strength, ranked from helpful to absolutely life-changing, all backed by published science and real results from real people just like you. Stay with us through the full list because the further down we go, the more dramatic the results get. And the number 1 habit at the end of this list is the single most important thing any senior can do for their body starting this week. You will not want to miss it. Before we dive in, drop a comment right now and tell us, what's the one physical thing you wish you could do again that feels harder than it used to? Walking without holding the railing, carrying your grandchildren, getting up from the floor on your own. We read and replied to every single comment. Now let's get into the list. Number 7, stop sitting for more than 45 minutes at a time. This one sounds almost too simple to matter, but the science says otherwise, and most seniors are completely unaware of how much invisible damage long, unbroken sitting is doing to their muscles every single day, even seniors who exercise regularly. When you stay seated for an hour or more, your body activates something researchers call anabolic resistance, a state where your muscles essentially stop responding to the signals that tell them to repair and grow. It doesn't matter if you went for a walk that morning. The moment you sit down for a prolonged stretch, that repair process slows to a crawl. A landmark 2020 study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that adults over 65 who sat for more than 8 hours a day showed a 31% lower rate of muscle protein synthesis compared to those who broke up their sitting with short movement breaks every 45 minutes. Think of your muscles like a fire. Sitting for long stretches is like closing all the vents. The fire doesn't go out immediately, but it starts dying quietly without you even noticing. By the time you feel the weakness, weeks or months of slow decline have already happened. The fix is beautifully simple. Set a gentle alarm on your phone or watch for every 45 minutes. When it goes off, stand up, walk to the kitchen and back, march in place for 2 minutes, do 5 slow sit to stands from your chair, roll your shoulders, stretch your calves. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to happen consistently every single day. Over 6 months, seniors who followed this one habit in the same study saw 18% better muscle retention compared to those who stayed sedentary. No gym, no equipment, no special diet, just breaking up the sitting. If you do nothing else after watching this video, do this. Set that alarm right now. Number 6, eat protein. within 45 minutes of waking up. Most seniors know protein matters for muscle, but when you eat, it is just as critical as how much you eat, and almost nobody is talking about this crucial timing window. Your body's muscle building capacity is at its peak in the morning. After a night of fasting, your muscles are primed, depleted, and hungry for amino acids, but most seniors wake up, drink coffee, eat toast or cereal, and don't consume meaningful protein until lunch or dinner. By that point, their body has already spent hours in a muscle breakdown state, quietly cannibalizing tissue to fuel morning activity. A 2021 study published in Nutrients tracked 400 adults over the age of 65 across 6 months. Those who consumed at least 25 to 30 grams of protein within 45 minutes of waking. Think 2 eggs with cottage cheese, Greek yogurt with a handful of walnuts, or a quality protein smoothie, showed a 24% greater improvement in muscle mass compared to those who waited until lunch to eat their first real protein source. Same total daily protein, it's just different timing, and the results were dramatically different. The reason comes down to cortisol. In the morning, your cortisol levels are naturally elevated, and cortisol is a catabolic hormone, meaning it breaks down muscle tissue if there's no protein available to counteract it. Getting protein in early is like sending reinforcements to the front line before the battle even begins. Start tomorrow morning, swap your toast and coffee routine for 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and a side of cottage cheese, or blend Greek yogurt with frozen berries and a scoop of protein powder. Or lay out smoked salmon on a whole grain slice the night before so it's ready to go. You don't need a large meal. You just need protein to be the centerpiece, not an afterthought. Your muscles will feel the difference within 2 to 3 weeks. Number 5, walk backward. Yes, really. This one surprises almost everyone who hears it, but the research behind it is genuinely hard to argue with, and seniors who have tried it consistently report results they weren't expecting. Backward walking, also called retro walking, activates an entirely different set of muscle fibers than forward walking. It deeply engages the quadriceps, glutes, hip flexors, and the small stabilizer muscles around the knee and ankle, muscles that are critically important for balance, fall prevention, and functional strength. But that standard forward walking barely touches. For seniors dealing with muscle weakness, joint stiffness, or reduced coordination, it is one of the most efficient and accessible muscle rebuilding movements available anywhere. A 2019 clinical trial in the Journal of Exercise Rehabilitation recruited seniors between 65 and 80 with moderate muscle loss and had them practice backward walking on a flat surface for just 10 minutes a day, 3 times a week. After 8 weeks, participants showed a 29% improvement in quadricep strength, a 23% reduction in knee joint pain, and significant improvements in overall balance, posture, and forward walking speed. They got better at walking forward by practicing walking backward. That is how powerful this movement is. You don't need a treadmill, a hallway, a flat backyard, or a quiet stretch of sidewalk works perfectly. Start with just 3 to 5 minutes. Keep your steps small and deliberate. Look over your shoulder every few steps for safety, and stay near a wall if you want extra confidence. The movement will feel strange and awkward at first. That unfamiliarity is the entire point. You are recruiting muscles that have been dormant and underused for years. You are waking them back up. Number 4, get your vitamin D. Levels tested immediately. Here is something most doctors won't bring up unless you specifically ask. And it may be the single invisible reason your muscles aren't recovering, responding to exercise, or rebuilding the way they should be. Vitamin D is not just a bone vitamin, it is a muscle hormone. Every single muscle cell in your body has vitamin D receptors, and without adequate levels, those cells cannot contract properly, cannot repair themselves efficiently after activity, and cannot grow in response to exercise. You could be doing everything else right, eating well, moving daily, sleeping enough, and still making almost no progress if your vitamin D is low. A comprehensive 2022 meta-analysis in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society reviewed data from over 4,000 seniors across 14 countries. Seniors with vitamin D deficiency, defined as levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter, had a 42% higher rate of muscle weakness and a 33% greater risk of falls compared to those with healthy levels. More striking still, seniors who corrected their deficiency through supplementation showed measurable, clinically significant improvements in muscle strength and physical performance within just 12 weeks of reaching optimal levels. Here is the problem. Over 70% of seniors are deficient and have no idea. There are no obvious symptoms in the early stages. You just feel a little slower, a little weaker, a little more fatigued than you think you should. And you chalk it up to aging when the real culprit is a nutrient your body can correct with a simple, inexpensive daily supplement. Ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D blood test at your very next visit. If your levels are below 30 nanograms per milliliter, discuss starting a daily supplement of 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3, taken with a meal that contains healthy fat for best absorption. This is one of the lowest effort, highest return habits on this entire list. A blood test and a small daily capsule could unlock muscle recovery that months of effort alone couldn't deliver. Number 3, use resistance bands. For 10 minutes every morning, we'll get to the top 2 habits very shortly, but this one deserves its own full spotlight because of how accessible, affordable, and scientifically powerful it is, especially for seniors who can't use free weights, don't have gym access, or are dealing with joint pain that makes traditional exercise feel impossible. Resistance bands create what exercise scientists call variable resistance. The muscle works progressively harder as the band stretches, which triggers deeper muscle fiber recruitment and a stronger repair response than many traditional weighted exercises. They are also remarkably gentle on aging joints. Unlike dumbbells or weight machines that create compression and shear forces that can aggravate knees, hips, and shoulders. A 2022 study published in Experimental Gerontology followed adults over 70 who use resistance bands for just 10 minutes each morning. Simple movements like seated rows, bicep curls, overhead presses, and standing leg extensions against the band 5 days a week. After 12 weeks, participants showed a 38% increase in muscle protein synthesis, a 26% improvement in upper body strength, and reported significantly less joint pain during everyday activities compared to the control group. 10 minutes, 5 days a week, under $15 of equipment. Those are results that rival what many seniors would achieve spending hours at a gym. Start with the lightest resistance band in the set and focus obsessively on slow but controlled movement, especially on the return phase when the band pulls back. That lowering, resisting phase is where your muscles are doing their deepest rebuilding work. Within 30 days, most seniors who commit to this morning habit report feeling noticeably stronger in their arms, shoulders, and legs, and noticing real differences in tasks they had started to dread, like lifting bags, opening jars, or rising from low chairs. Number 2, add creatine to your daily routine. If there's one thing that is consistently underused by seniors and consistently, almost overwhelmingly backed by decades of research, it is creatine monohydrate. And before skepticism sets in, let's be clear about what this actually is. This is not a bodybuilder supplement. This is not a performance drug. Creatine is a natural molecule your own body produces and uses every single day to fuel your muscles. After 60, your natural production drops significantly. Supplementing simply restores what your body has been losing. Here's how it works. Creatine helps your muscle cells regenerate energy faster during physical effort. It also draws water into the muscle fibers, keeping them hydrated, plump, and primed for repair. Most importantly for seniors, it amplifies the results of whatever exercise you're already doing, turning a 10-minute resistance band session into something your body responds to the way it would respond to a much longer workout. A 2020 review in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition analyzed 22 separate clinical trials involving seniors and creatine supplementation. The conclusion was unambiguous and consistent across every study. Seniors who took 3 to 5 grams of creatine monohydrate daily alongside any form of regular exercise gained significantly more muscle mass, showed greater strength improvements, had better functional performance in real-world tasks, getting up from chairs, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, and recovered faster between sessions compared to seniors who exercise without it. 3 to 5 grams is a tiny amount. It dissolves completely in water, coffee, a smoothie, or juice. It has no taste whatsoever. It costs less than $1 a day. And study after study, over 30 years of research confirms it is safe for healthy kidneys at this dose. As always, talk to your doctor before starting any supplement. But if you get the green light, creatine is the most science-backed, most accessible, most underappreciated tool available to any senior who is serious about rebuilding strength in 2024. Number 1, do compound movements every single day. This is the habit that sits above everything else on this list. Not because the others don't matter, every single one of them does, and they all work better together than they do alone. But this one works at a depth that nothing else can replicate because it doesn't just build one muscle. It rebuilds the entire system. Compound movements are exercises that use multiple muscle groups simultaneously. Squats, lunges, push-ups, rows, hip hinges, overhead presses. These movements don't just strengthen isolated muscles in isolation. They trigger a full body hormonal cascade that releases growth hormone, stimulates bone density, improves neuromuscular coordination, and signals your entire body to rebuild from the inside out. They are the closest thing science has ever found to a genuine fountain of youth for the aging body. A landmark 2023 study in the Journals of Gerontology followed 600 sedentary seniors between 68 and 82 who were introduced to a daily 15-minute compound movement routine, modified squats from a chair, wall push-ups, and resistance band rows. After 16 weeks, participants showed a 47% improvement in overall functional strength, a 34% reduction in fall risk, significantly better grip strength and stair climbing speed, and reported feeling physically younger by an average self-reported measure of 8 years. 8 years of perceived physical age, reversed in 16 weeks of 15-minute daily sessions. The critical word in all of that is modified. You do not need to squat to the floor. A sit to stand from your chair is a perfect squat. You do not need to do a push-up from the ground. A push against the wall counts. You do not need a pull-down machine. A resistance band row delivers the same hormonal response. The movement pattern, not the load, is what triggers the body's rebuilding signal. Do at least one compound movement every single day, even on days when you're tired, even on rest days. Do 5 slow and deliberate sit to stands from your chair before you sit down for the evening. Keep the movement pattern alive in your body's memory. Let your nervous system know it is still expected to perform, still capable of strength, still worthy of rebuilding. Because here is the truth that no one tells seniors clearly enough. Your muscles are not gone. They have not abandoned you. They are waiting quietly, patiently for the right signal. The signal that says you still need them. The signal that says you still intend to live fully and move freely and carry your own groceries and play with your grandchildren and climb your own stairs without gripping the rail in fear. Give your muscles that signal today. Give them every single one of the habits on this list and watch what happens when your body finally gets what it's been waiting for. You don't have to accept weakness as an unavoidable part of aging. Everything on this list is backed by real science, designed for real seniors, and proven to deliver results in weeks, not years. Muscle loss is not your destiny. Strength is a choice you can make starting with your very next meal, your very next morning, your very next hour. Which of these 7 habits are you going to start with? Tell us in the comments below. We read and reply to every single one, and we'd love to know where you're starting your journey. And if you want more honest, science-backed guidance on living stronger after 60, subscribe and hit the bell icon right now so you never miss a video. Because getting older is inevitable. Losing your strength, your independence, and your confidence, that part is entirely optional.